Hi guys, and welcome back to my 5th episode of my Minecraft Let's Play series. Today is the day. The day I build myself a proper base. Which I've been doing some off-camera prepping. But before we get into all of that, we're going to show you some of the other stuff I did off-camera. Which is expand the goddamn cow and sheep farmers a bit. And farm the fudge out of them by growing some wheat. Which took me a while, but eventually I got it to a point where I have enough cattle to get enough leather where I can make multiple backpacks easily if I need to. But we are going to be working on a base today, which is very excited, but that's not the only thing we're going to be working on. There are 2 items that I'm going to work on, which are A, is going to facilitate the base building, and B is just kind of, for the funsies. Which is going to be a soul fire, basically a blast furnace, but soul fire. Basically this, but soul fire, which is going to be very important. Which, again, the wheat, ironically, is going to very much help get me to where I need to go on that front. But we're also going to build a couple of, basically, beginnings of the dock here. Because I kind of want to do that and get to that point where this is just a nice area. Where it sort of bleeds into the, basically the industrial areas of the village. The areas with a lot of create materials and other such things. But, like, again, it feels like, oh, the raw materials have come in from the docks. Now they're just going straight into the resource refineries. So, good times. But one of the items I want to build my base out of this particular series is blackstone. And there's only one real way to make blackstone, which is either collecting it from the nether or soulfire, a bulk haunting machine. But I just call it the soulfire because that's what it is. But I need soul sand for that. And to get soul sand, it's actually not that hard. Which requires soul sand for the fire to be on top of. Which can be built in a bulk haunter or added a bone block. Bone blocks require bone meal. And bone meal can be got from composters. So in a very backwards way, I am very much going to be, fast engineering this. Sadly, some of the chickens have escaped, but I have enough bulk where I don't really care. But yeah, I basically gave myself rainbow sheep, some of which I bred into existence, others I just had to re-dye. Because I have been collecting materials because fun times are ahead of us. But I will show you what I've been collecting. Some of those materials are just for the outside part, which again I might decorate, might not get around to it, we'll see. The next part of the materials is literally all the building materials. And just some spare ones for, when I build the basement part. But we'll need to get to that soon. First, we're going to go chat with all the people in town and see how they're doing. Because honestly, just want to, see what's going on. But, I remember you. You came here, like, recently. Alright, maybe I should build a house out here. This village might be a great business opportunity. Okay then. Well, I guess. I don't really see why not. But, yeah. As you can see, it seems Willow has made herself very comfortable. Willow Copperforge. Okay. I guess this is her house now, and her last name is Copperforge. That's interesting. Willow, how's it going? Hello, Pookletons. What do you think of my additions to my new place? Hello, Willow. Pretty nice, not gonna lie. Probably better than what I have, considering I live in a cramped box. Which is like the same size as yours, but yeah, see, you started getting a garden going. Yes, yeah, I always wanted to try and make one, but there was never enough space or time. But now I'm able to give it a go, since I have my own place. Plus, I was able to find a couple of pigs wandering about, so things are going pretty alright for me. Well, that's good to hear. Honestly, good to see that things are going your way. Especially considering you're moving in here, and yeah. But let's see. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. What are you two ladies up to? I don't think... Actually, I do recognize it. I think I saw you over there, but just never got around to chatting with you. Why don't you open it on your own? Perhaps you're right. Maybe I've been going about this the wrong way after all. I guess. Fair enough. I don't really know what you're referring to, but, yeah. If you watched last episode, you'll recognize this little building. I decided to add a sign to it. Yeah, the library and archives. Which honestly just kind of makes sense. Eventually I'll add some internal building. Maybe I will get around to it this episode. Maybe not. I have a lot on my plate. And I have so much ambition to give around. Only so much. What are you doing out here, Steven? How hard could this be? I've had way tougher challenges than this. Alright. I guess he did say he was thinking about building a house here, so I guess he's just psyching himself up. Psyching himself up for realsies. But, yeah. Let's go and get... Well, not get, but show off some of the other things, because I recently found a lush cave while looking for resources, which allowed me to find other awesome resources, but more importantly, I was able to make a lot of bricks. Normally, finding clay is kind of a pain in the ass. However, lush caves have a lot of it. So, I should be able to build this thing relatively easily. But with that being said, let's just get this started. And bop. Whoop, and we're back, and I'm ready to show you what I've been working on. And honestly, I really do like how my house came out together. But first, well, actually, we're just going to start with the stuff over here, as you can clearly see. Those being the warehouses that I built, which took way more clay than I thought, but still I had loads of clay because lush caves are packed with the stuff. And I managed to build these. I haven't put the doors on them yet, and there might be some alterations, like a little side door. These are the kind of area where you store all your cargo from ships and make sure it's safe. And again, I really do like how these came together. They are vanilla in nature, but I want to build somewhat in vanilla and somewhat in other things. But, as you can see over here, I got up to some shit. But yeah, these are the basic simple builds that I just wanted to get done and outline the beginnings of the docks and or the industrial area, which again, this will eventually become. But we are going to go over here to our haunting machine, which basically lets us make blackstone and a couple other kinds of blocks. Again, it's just the same as the smelter system. It makes blocks really easily. There's a variety of what we can do. Getting soul sand is not that tricky, as, just a sec. I will demonstrate if I haven't already. You literally can get it by putting bone blocks into sand, which is very helpful. I mean, there's not really much application for the inside of, you know, create mod, but honestly, this place is pretty good. It keeps a sort of dark and spooky vibe, which is partially what I wanted to fit with the haunting. I also added some vines here. The reason being is that eventually there will be another building right here. I'm pretty sure it's just going to be like my metal press system, my auto metal press system to be particular. And honestly, it's gonna just need a space, not a big one, as again, there's only so much metal pressing I actually need. But I want to have a little like in-between area where nature seems to be growing on here. Which honestly, again, right now it doesn't look amazing, but give it time. And that brings me to my house. Which honestly, I really do like how this turned out. Obviously, I do need to decorate inside a bit more, but the outside garden part was something that I had prepared ahead of time. And I was able to locate some of the flowers, which are the glow flowers. Which, fun fact, no matter which direction you look at them at, they always look like this, which is honestly pretty darn cool. I also made my pond with black sand at the bottom. Again, another stylistic choice to add with everything else that I built with. I added some lilies. I added some back foliage here. Honestly, I very much like how this came together. The vibe I was going for was Mystic Garden, which, again, I think I really pulled off, especially with the glowberries and the blossoms and the particle effects. Mixing that with the witch hazel, which, again, just looks so beautiful in my opinion. Again, I wanted to also do something slightly different with this house in terms of design, while still keeping certain design aspects that I liked before. And the white lavender, I actually got off a wandering trader like last second, and it was just chef's kiss for the flowers. Honestly, I very much like how it turned out. Inside, I did manage to do the kitchen decorating, but not really any of the other rooms. I added some curtains and other such things to give each room their own vibe, but again, no uniform color. Purple was like the kitchen area, I decided. And honestly, I added some of the, what's it called? Farmer's Delights, which means I can cook some of that kind of stuff, which could be kind of cool. I also added the basement, which is very important. Again, it has room to expand as I will need more things, like an area for enchanting, an area for other create things, like, again, a enchanting holding, or say, experience holding tank, which will require me to get around to that. Yeah, like, let's see. I think it's drain? Yeah. Oh, no. I guess it... I don't know where it is, but basically it lets me do industrial enchanting, and again, I will get to it. I also made myself a storage area. Again, it can be expanded as I need it to. This is just to get the basics and so that I don't have a chest monster as horrendously as I have in the last couple episodes. But you can see I have been trying to clean up. Again, it's a work in progress. I eventually will clean this all up. But it's slow going. So, yeah. Basically, I need to clean up more of this as time goes on. I also destroyed one of the houses here, like the literal copy of this, because it just didn't need to be here, and I needed some of the blocks, because calcite is not easy to come by, and I needed a lot of it. And when I mean a lot, I mean, oh boy, there was a lot needed. But we can go upstairs up here, and you can see that I decided to add blue curtains for this area. My own little room, which again, I will plan to eventually decorate, probably next episode. Again, that will be the plan for this house. But another spare room, and a ladder up to the attic, which has another gosh darn window. Well, another two. But still, I really do like how this turned out. And, of course, the shape up here. But it also has room to expand and things to add on, which, honestly, I'm looking forward to doing. It also has this tower, which, honestly, I also really like how it turned out. But we shall see. Again, decorating will probably be next episode's shenaniganery. That or something else, I'm not really sure. Again, this is sort of as I go and decide what I want to do next. And, yeah. I also added a lectern and a book, so that way I can actually start writing down what I want to do in any given episode, and that way I can look at it, because that really helped me find direction on what I'm doing, in the past at least. And honestly, I want to keep that energy. But, yeah, that is the house. Honestly, again, I will expand further. I might add statues and other things. I really do need to get a statue for that pedestal, because it's not quite complete, and it's bothering me. It's bothering me. But, yeah, let's see what people are in the village are up to. I should really make a plan soon. I'm starting to run low on food. Yeah, that's probably important. But, yeah, I think I saw this earlier, and, Steven, what are you doing out here, mister? How's it going? Looks like you built yourself, honestly, a pretty snazzy little house. Ooh, okay. It's a lot bigger than I thought it was. At least initially. But, honestly, it looks pretty snazzy. Let's just see. So this is all you could come up with. You do know that houses need furniture in them, right? Uh-huh. Observe. Clever observation, David. If you let me finish talking, you would know I'm not done yet, and that it's a work in progress. Well, I guess he kind of has you there, David. You're kind of being an arse. But I guess you're just looking over at it, and you want what's best for your brother. It's not really unreasonable, I suppose. Ugh. Anyways, Gertrude, what are you doing here? Alright, Gertrude, you may have been stranded here by your peers, but you can make the most out of it. You just need to make a plan. Well, at least she seems to be getting somewhere, I hope. Honestly, I just hope the things don't go sour for her. But honestly, next episode I really do need to fill in the library / archive. Because it is a building that I, again, have built, but I really need to fill in. And that's a habit I have. A very bad habit, which is I build a building, but never give it internal furniture or, odds and ends. And it just remains a hollow shell. Which is something I really want to improve on and not do. Just because it's boring. I also might remove this glowberry here, just because it does kind of... There's no way to keep it from growing further. And, yeah, just another secret way into my base. Wahaha. Then climb over. But again, I use the haunting setup to make myself some blackstone. And that's how I got that. Which, again, it's convenient to getting certain nether items without having to go to the nether. Which is very important. I also moved a lot of the chipped stuff down here. I also made the 2 workbenches I just didn't get to yet. Again, I'm going to need them for lanterns and other shenaniganery. But for now, it's a kind of cool setup. But, as you can see, I like how I've made a lot of things compact and yet feel, spacious. That is one of the issues I feared that this build would have, building on this plot of land. Considering I like to build semi-large and sometimes small, I'm very indecisive. But yeah, I do need to light this thing up. Do I have any torches in one of these chests? No. Let's see. Ah, there we go. Let's light up some of these rooms. That way when I can really get the effect of this place correct. Alright. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's go up to the next layer. Alright. Boom, boom. And boom, boom. Let's go see if it looks better outside. Because I feel like windows with lights in them make it look a lot better. I mean, kind of. Not really. Well, maybe I'll change that in a bit. Oh, good. Do not want to lose one of these. But yeah, I think I saw Willow over here earlier, but what's going on? Let's see what's going on here. Hello. Well, this will be interesting to say the least. You're new around here. Willow, who's your friend here? What's going on here? Hey, Pookletons, we need to talk. It's kind of important. The chief of the goblin camp wants to speak with you. Okay, can you tell me what he wants to speak with me about in particular? Prefer not to go into this blind and, potentially die. I'm not quite sure if I'm being honest. It could be anything from demanding tribute to wanting an alliance with you. All I've been able to gather from my sister here is that it is urgent and important, and that he wishes to speak with you right now. Okay, good to know. I guess I'll be there shortly. No point in him trying to raid our village. I prefer if it didn't piss off the dude. Alright, Bookletons, I wish you good luck. Alright, I'm grabbing a certain weapon particularly before I go, because I'm not going into that place unarmed. Wrong chest. Let me just see. I think in here it is. I got this thing a while ago, and it's at least one of my only good weapons, even if I'm not very good with it. So I'm going to have to make it work. But let's go over there. hopefully this goes well. Hopefully I don't get turned into goblin Swiss cheese. But, yeah. Okay, I've never actually been that close to this place. Our leader is waiting for you. We've been expecting you. Okay, well, looks like I'm not alone. I prefer not to gain too much attention. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave them be. You must be the goblin leader. Hello, human lord Puckletons. Thank you for meeting me on such short notice, but there is something I must talk about with you. But I am getting ahead of myself. My name is Barg Blackthorn, leader of this village. Okay. Well, nice to meet you, Barg. Not to be rude, but I would like to know what you wish to talk about so suddenly, considering we've never met. Fair enough. I've asked you rather suddenly to meet with me without any warning. Least I can do is explain what it is I wish to discuss. To put it simply, I have a large favor to ask of you, my lord Puckletons. I would ask that some of my goblins be allowed to join your village for a time. Huh. I'm not against it per se, but I do have to ask why you'd want this. This feels weird. This is like someone saying, "Oh yeah," a country just basically going like, "Oh yeah, I want to be a sovereign, a state of your kingdom." Over the last couple of years, we have had less and less contact with other groups of goblins, from traveling merchant goblins to other tribes. We have sent scouts to investigate, though none who travel far ever seem to come back. We have wanted to investigate further, but have lacked the means to do so. Without dire wolf mounts or any other form of fast travel available to us. Fair enough, I suppose. I see. That's rather concerning, to say the least. Yeah, I guess, yeah, it is, to say the least. Considering, a population disappearing can be rather concerning from their perspective. That's quite the understatement. What I would like to do is take my warriors and scouts to investigate where the other tribes have gone, and what happened to them. But not all of my people are warriors. Not all of my people are built for such a potentially long journey. And if we leave them behind with no warriors to protect them, something terrible could occur and wipe them all out, and we would be powerless to stop it. That's fair, honestly. I guess if your scouts are all just dying out, you need to send beefier forces. I think I get it, but why do you trust me and not... I think I get it, but why do you trust me with this? Not to be rude, but from my understanding, goblins and humans tend to dislike each other at the best of times. Yeah, the way Willow acted when we first met basically made me think, oh, sweet heavens, they kinda hate each other. True, most humans treat us with disgust and hatred, but you don't. That is very rare among your kin. The way Willow speaks about you leads me to believe that you will treat my kin fair and with kindness, and in these times that's all I can ask for. So, are you willing to aid me in this matter? I'm not against it, but I would like to make sure my villagers that are living with me are okay with it first. That's understandable. Thank you for hearing me out. Please let me know your decision. You may leave if you wish. Alright, well, I'll be seeing you, I guess. That's concerning. Skulls everywhere, but hey, we will be going. Well, that's a lot to take in, but I guess I gotta ask the villagers when the time comes tomorrow. But with that being said, this is all the time we have for today. Next episode, I guess we're gonna be chatting with the villagers to see if they're okay if some goblins move in. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a like, comment down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!